Hey, how is everybody? It's been a while since I have come on this channel, Mock Pilates and Yoga. I wanted to go through a short flow of exercises targeting right here. Psoas muscle, or some people might refer to them as the hip flexor. So the hip flexor is responsible for drawing the knee up. So walking, running, cycling, yeah, pretty much everyday kind of movements, going up and down the stairs if you have stairs in your house. So we use the psoas muscle a lot. But however, on the flip side, we sit a lot today too. Whether you are just on the couch binging Netflix, which by the way, like I ended up doing that for several hours yesterday, last night, did not mean to, but you get so sucked in, and it's so easy to do. Or maybe you sit all day at work. So either way, the more you sit, the worse it is, because this muscle shortens and it tightens and it can become spastic and painful. And then it can just be a short muscle after a while. If it's constantly in this position, it can just shorten after a while. And the real bad problem with that is, on the flip side, are these big glute muscles back here, which are kind of your powerhouse, especially you athletes out there that are running and cycling. You are dependent on these huge muscles back here. But if you're sitting a lot, they're getting weakened because they're in this like lengthened state, as the front of your body is in this tight state. So weak glute muscles can lead to a whole lot of problems, a lot of injuries, a lot of physical therapy appointments. Love my physical therapist, but goal is to try to stay out of there. So join me in this very short flow, just a few of my favorite exercises targeting right here in these muscles. We're gonna start in child's pose. So roll out your mat, get in something comfortable. Maybe have some relaxing music with you, and get your knees out as wide as you can go here. Maybe about mat distance. Start by sitting down on your heels and then walking your hands out, grounding your forehead down. Breathe. One more full inhale. Exhale. Join me in tabletop, hands and knees. We're going to prepare for a down dog. So before we do that, let's just shoot that right leg back, grounding the ball of your foot down. Press your heel back and release. Let's go to the other side. All right. All right. Strong hands, grounded down, fingers are spread. We're going to tap toes. Elbow creases point to the front of the room. So your elbows should look like that. Your creases facing the front, not like that, okay? So this, you get very rounded and your shoulders cave in. Right here is where you want to be. Shoulders automatically are back and down and locked in right where you want them. All right. Exhale, tailbone to the sky, down dog. Feel free to walk your dog. Keep pressing your chest towards your thighs. Nice and long and lengthened in your arms and your back. So I'm going to go into a flip dog position. If that is not your practice, just stay here in down dog. If you can, though, I'm going to have to scooch over to make some room. Take your right leg to the sky, and you're going to open up, drawing your kind of right knee to the sky, your heel in towards your glute. And then you're going to take this foot back behind you. So shoulders back and down. Really important to have very strong shoulders when you flip a dog. But this is a hip flexor move, because right here I'm pressing my hips up and this lengthening here, just kind of stretching out the front of my leg. And just hold here. And we're going to come back. Great job. Back to down dog. Not in your practice. Again, just stay in down dog and skip this part. All right, we'll take that left leg up. You're going to draw your heel to your glute. And then continue to bring that foot down to the floor. Flip your dog. Pressing again your hips to the sky. And then we'll return down dog. And then release your knees. Child's pose. And back to tabletop. All right, we're going to come into a runner's lunge. So if you have a real hard time bringing your knee or your foot through between your hands, I strongly suggest using blocks and seeing what happens. Just bringing the ground up a little higher, and you might find that you have the room. So let's come back into another down dog. You're going to take your right leg up. Come into plank as you really bring your knee into your chest, so a little core work, and then land your foot down. See, with the blocks, you have all this room. Lower your back knee. You can keep your hands on the blocks. You can get rid of them. And you're just going to press your hips forward. So knee stays over your ankle, chest stays lifted. You're getting this great stretch right now in your left hip flexor. And breathe. If you can always really press into the ground. You're not going to see my face for a moment here, but I'm still here with you. Just bring your arms up towards the sky. Keep pressing your chest forward. Kind of bringing your inner thighs together. And then you can release your hands. Stay here or come into a high lunge by lifting that back knee up. I'm going to disappear again, but I'm still here. Hold. Really pressing this back heel to the back of the room. Nice strong legs. One more breath. And release. I'm going to come back to down dog. All right, hands on the blocks if you need it. Left leg up, and we're going to bring our knee to our chest, and then bring that foot through our hands. Lower that knee back down. Press your hips forward. Again, hip flexor. Stay here. Rise up. Good, stay here. Or we're going to come into a high lunge. Rise, strong feet, ground down, strong legs. Bring your arms up towards the sky, soft shoulders, engaging your abs. Woo, there goes my balance. Good. And again, release, back to down dog. I'm going to lower my knees down. All right. I'm going to see if I can bring that laptop up just a little higher. See if you can get me. Hello. Sort of. I'm still here. All right, so we're going to come into a camel pose. So again, it's this whole like stretching out the front of our body in camel pose. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my toes tucked. That just brings my heels up a little closer because that way I can bring my hands down. I'm only going to go one arm at a time. For me, it's easier. So join me. Take camel however you need if it's in your practice. You can always keep your hands at your lower back and just stay sort of in this modified level 1 kind of version of this move. All right, take a big inhale. I'm going to lower my right hand to my right heel as I press my hips forward and my left arm is up towards the sky. Keep pressing my hips forward. And just carefully, I'm going to release. And I'm going to come into camel. So I'm just going to take my feet apart, my calves apart. I'm going to sit my bum between my feet. Now, again, if that's just too much on your knees and your bum doesn't come all the way down, you can put a block or two and sit on that. And that will definitely, not might, but it will definitely probably take some pressure off of your knees if you're feeling it there. And then if you need a little bit more stretch, you can bring your hands back behind you. You need that stretch right in here, all the way up into the hip flexor muscle. And then if you've really got it in, you can bring your forearms down to the mat as well. So we're gonna hold, breathing. Good, two more, so belly rises as you inhale. Good, big inhale again. And just very carefully, which I think is the hardest part to come out of heroes, is to come on up, which is the hardest part. We're gonna come back to our knees for camel. So again, I'm gonna tuck my toes. Big inhale, reach up nice and long. I'm gonna take my left hand to my left heel, pressing my hips forward. Watch your breath, nice, steady, easy. Give me two more. Last one. And very carefully, this time, just have a seat right there on your heels or come into a cross-legged. Let's just let our spine reset. Two breaths. All right, last little stretch. We're gonna make your way down to your back. Make sure you got your blocks handy for this next one. I'm just gonna tip the laptop down just a little bit so you can see me a little bit better. Lower down. And then you're gonna take a block in your lower back. If you had a bolster or a very firm pillow, you can do that as well. All right, and we're gonna lengthen. You're gonna lengthen your legs out. And we're just gonna hold here for a moment. Now feel free, if this is just not a whole lot, you can put two blocks side by side if you just feel maybe that just is a little bit more supportive. That works as well. Okay, so again, you've got this lengthening in the front of your body. So we're gonna hold here. And then bend your knees. We're gonna keep this left knee bent as we hug our right knee into our chest. Just stay here with me for a moment as you breathe. And then go ahead, and if you've got it, lengthen out your left leg, even if it's here, here, or all the way down. Breathe. So again, feeling the stretch along the left side of that left side of your body, front side. Great, and we're gonna release. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So now I'm gonna hug my left knee in. I'm gonna hold here just for a moment, a breath or two. And then you can go ahead and lengthen out your right side. And release. All right, go ahead and we'll lift up to remove the bolster. And take your feet out wide. Let's just windshield wiper. All right, hugging your knees in. Rock from one end of your spine to the other. And then have a seat. And I did tell you that was going to be our last move, but I think we're going to keep going. A few more I want to show you at least. So let's start that left leg out, and then your right foot will just come into that inner thigh. So because we're just focusing on the hip flexor here, we're going to go ahead and take a little twist, left hand to that right knee, and you're going to look over your shoulder. So if you flip dog, what we did in the beginning of class is not in your practice. This is a great place to start. So you're going to plant your right hand all the way down behind you. I'll shift it this way so you can get a better view of what I'm doing. Then you're going to press into the mat. So make sure you have to have very strong shoulders. So if you don't have very stable shoulders, no matter, whatever the reason being, it doesn't really matter, but you just have to really know your body and assess whether this is something viable for you to do. So you do want to make sure that shoulder is back and down and locked in, again, stable. And once you're in a good position, really pressing down through your hand, you're going to lift your bum up. You're going to roll onto this right knee. And so your hips are, again, up towards the sky, chest is to the sky. And you should feel this amazing stretch. Hip flexor in front of the body there. And then release down. So you don't have to stay there very long at all, but great place to start to get used to the flip dog. All right, so we'll just flip sides. All right, so again, left hand, again, I'll go this way. Left hand grounds down, shoulder back and down, locked in. Then you're gonna roll onto that knee as you press your hips up. Breathe. And slowly release. Now, another step, if that's even too much for you, kind of level one is you can start here. I'm in sort of a cross-legged position. My right leg is out in front. I'm going to plant both of my hands down back behind me. I'm going to press into my hands. I'm a little bit more stable here because I have both my hands grounded, shoulders back and down, and I'm going to lift my glutes up off the mat and hit points to the front of the room, bellies to the sky, and then release. So you're getting sort of the feeling and the idea, and then you can just take that other foot or other leg out in front and press up. And release. Take a big inhale, reach up for the sky. And release into heart center. Thank you so much for joining me with this short little flow, targeting the psoas muscles. If you do sit a lot every day, that just means you need to stretch every day, focusing on these psoas muscles, especially if you do exercise in the morning, which is great if you do. But you definitely need to have a habit of stretching out the psoas and then strengthening the glutes. I do have a video on here with glute strengthening moves. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this video if you have a chance to do it. Check me out on Martha McDuff Holistic Health Coach YouTube page as well, just to learn a little bit more what I can do for you as far as a health coach as well. Comment below any other kind of short videos you'd like to see. Let me know any other areas of the body that give you trouble that you need to know a little short flow you can integrate into your life. Thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to working with you soon. All together, we bow and say, Namaste. There's my cat. He does. All right, see ya. Bye.